Welcome back to Talk of the Town on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
And we welcome you back to Talk of the Town for this Thursday, September the 24th. I'm Gary Stevens. Fourth Thursday of the month, we spend time with members of the Ottawa County Board of Commissioners. I like to call it the update from the Fillmore Street Complex. That is where the administrative offices are. Fillmore near 120th in West Olive. And today we are joined by Commissioners Roger Bergman of Grand Haven and Al Dannenberg of Zeeland. They are on our Zoom connection. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to Talk of the Town for both of you.
Good morning, Gary.
Glad you are with us. And if you have a question for either Al or Roger, best way to do it, call us at 395-1450, 395-1450. Did you think we're still going to be talking about COVID-19 6.5 months after the outbreak came out? Either Roger or Al, you can begin with that.
No, I didn't. I thought it was going to be a short-term thing. When they shut everything down in March, I thought in April and May, things would go back to normal. This is a short-term thing and we would all move on. No, this has kind of caught me, but I think it caught a lot of people by surprise, how long this is just dragging on.
Well, so, Roger Bergman?
Yeah, it's interesting because my wife and I were planning on taking a trip to Europe this fall. And of course, Europe won't allow any Americans in. So that was called off, and even a year from now, what's going to be like a year from now? I certainly hope things have changed but we don't know. And our health department has worked hard to stay on top of things in the county, and Lisa and her staff have done a phenomenal job in keeping up with what is happening in terms of healthcare, but in terms of keeping track of COVID outbreaks that are happening in the county as well.
Related situation, gentlemen, you still have to put, you being the board, still has to have the state of emergency in the county. It's not as if we're in dire situations. We're all doomed. That whenever you see state of emergency, that the alarms don't come in. But the thing is, though, it is more of an administrative thing. So some of the measures that can be done to help those, especially in the front lines, it can be done through the government, in this case, the county government, saying, yes, we're still in a state of emergency.
Yeah. There's a misunderstanding, a lot of people, when they think of the county doing a state of emergency, that we're doing a similar thing to the governor has basically been able to shut things down. We don't do that. The county doesn't do that. We use the state of emergency to enable our administrator and some of our department heads to be more nimble in terms of using the CARES dollars to get additional help when that's needed, whether it's in the health department or whether it's in the emergency department, emergency management department, whatever. But it enables us to use those CARES dollars that come from the federal government.
395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for either Ottawa County Commissioner Roger Bergman from Grand Haven or Ottawa County Commissioner Al Dannenberg from Zeeland. Big thing tonight. The annual Farms Are the Tapas fundraiser from 6 to 8 p.m. Either Al or Roger, tell us exactly what this fundraiser is about and what, the value of the Farms Are the Tapas effort.
This is farm preservation for the county. We are getting close to having 406 acres of protected farmland. What this really does is it's a fundraiser to help use that money even to get grants so that we can buy the development rights of the farmer, and it keeps it into farmland. Some of the farms I have been to, good operations, Very proud of them. So this fundraiser tonight, you can even go online and buy stuff on the silent auction. A lot of it is farm products. There's beef, there's chicken, a few other things that are out there. So, and a lot of us have been bidding on it already, and we've been losing out. So somebody else has been overbidding us.
Yes, and Al needs some competition on some of his bids.
Yeah.
So
We'll
he
see
wants that meat, that
Yeah.
barbecue, or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, definitely. Bid on the protein. Maybe a tough question to answer. I'm not certain, or maybe not so tough. 406 acres are protected. How much of a percentage of that being? How many acres do you see possibly having to go into this program? Because obviously 406 seems kind of small for trying to protect farmland.
Yeah, that is a smaller amount. The townships have to approve of it first. They have to go along with this program. If they decide not to go into it, then that whole township will never going to get those acres there. So that's why the number is kind of small.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering how many acres will eventually be. It's almost like the whims of the township. We're seeing a change in Park Township supervisor at the beginning of, in the middle of November. So maybe, I'm not saying Park Township's not playing nice on this thing, but I'm just saying you get changes in townships leadership, and sometimes they might say, yeah, let's play along with it, or no, we need that development going in.
Yeah.
Well, in light of that, I look at my experience, and I grew up in Holland, and when I was a young man, much younger man, I picked blueberries, and I remember all the blueberry fields that were on the north side of Holland. How many of those have gone? And I think for future generations, somehow we have to find ways to preserve blueberry fields, but also other, places of fruits and vegetables throughout our county. That's the second, I think, Al, is that the second largest economic force in our county behind manufacturing? I think it is, right?
Yeah, it's a big share. We in Allegan County share first place of agriculture in the state.
Right.
And,
Yes.
and really what that does is, and I could have it wrong, and it was either the price of corn or the price of hogs that flipped it one way or the other to the different counties. And Roger, I know you grew up in Holland and you picked blueberries. I lived in Drent, and we all worked for farmers. Whenever they needed some grunt work, catching chickens, cleaning out a barn of manure. Yeah, oh yeah, let's get them. Here we go. So it's a big part of the county. Yeah.
395-1450, 395-1450. There are two forums coming up between now and early November that I want to touch base with both of you on. First of all, October 20th, the Ottawa County Diversity Forum. It's going to be virtual, but and registration will be opening soon. Either you, Al, or you, Roger, can tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, this is an ongoing. We've had this forum every year, and every year it's better attended. And of course, the challenge now is with COVID and being virtual this year is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. But it's an opportunity for any citizens to learn more about what is happening in the county in regards to diversity and how we can learn from each other about steps to take to get rid of some of this explicit bias that we have towards, whoever it might be, right? So I think it's an opportunity for citizens in Ottawa County to become more educated. And I think that unless Al, you have any other thoughts?
No. Now that we have a diversity director, Robin Afric, she has started to broaden some of the subjects and the guests that are coming out here. I guess there is some misconception about what our county is about with diversity. So I think she's trying to change it, and it goes back to our motto of our county: "This is where you belong." So I'm thinking it's going to be down because it's not live, and I'm hoping next year at this time we're meeting in person. And I'm hoping we're meeting in person in WHTC too. But
yeah, it would be nice to have you guys stop on by, and then you have to wait with the traffic.
Yes,
right?
yeah. No, don't go there, Gary, with the traffic. Don't go there.
Well, at least they're getting the railroad crossing fixed over on Pine and 7th. Has it been a year or has it been 2 years, Al or Roger, that since Robin's been on board as the diversity officer?
This is their second year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
2018.
Okay. I just a point of reference for my point of view.
Yeah.
One other forum that's coming up, it won't be until November 2, and registration will be opening soon because all the details have yet to be finalized. The always important Ottawa County Water Quality Forum. And I say always important because we want to make sure we have clean water in our area. We got so much water nearby that should be clean. Sometimes we kind of wonder about it, but certainly this forum will be very important.
Gary, I can't emphasize enough of this water quality forum. The quality of the water is important, but also the amount of water that we're going to get. 3 years ago, one of the big sprinkling units in a farm in Linden Township pulled up a little bit more salt water from the bottom, and it killed the whole crop. So that means that aquifer is dropping the water level, and it's not being renewed as fast as we're taking water out. So to me, this is something that I feel that the county has to keep their eye on and start looking at that, because there's a lot of people that have wells. If their wells run dry, that's a problem. That is a problem. That's not an easy fix right away. So.
And it ties in a little bit with the Farms of the Tapas fundraiser tonight, because you have more development, more people are going to tap into the water.
Yep, you're right.
We also have a large nursery in Robinson Township that is looking to expand, and they can't expand because of the fact that they can't get the water that they need, a permit to draw the amount of water that they need to expand. So that's an issue that we deal with also.
395-1450, 395-1450. I hate to be, stick in the mud in this regard, but, we got that city of Wyoming water thing pulled out in, Port Sheldon. And yes, I know it does supply water all the way up the line over to Granville, but, something, hey, what's Kent County doing tapping into our water?
And actually, some of our, the gentleman has this nursery, could tap into that, or the Grand Rapids water supply. However, the cost to do that is huge, and unless there's some grant funds or something like that, it's almost it's undoable in terms of the cost to get that water to that business.
395-1450, 395-1450. I'm going to preface this particular remark by saying that it is early in the process in terms of getting the full information out. The state legislature, the House and the Senate, have apparently come to agreement on a budget for fiscal 2021. The new fiscal year begins next Thursday. And according to MERS News, held harmless in the New Deal, money for local governments. Hate to say we'll believe it when we see it, but we'll believe it when we see it.
Yes, yes. We've heard these things before, right, Al?
Yeah. Well, I read something that they at least have the school budget squared away. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, they have not only that, according to MERS, a no-frills flat $62.7 billion spending plan cleared the House in less than 8 hours, and the Senate, I think, is concurred. I just saw a tweet from State Senator Eric Nesbitt about the fact that they are on board on this. It's a product of 3 weeks of intense virtual negotiations between the legislature and the governor's administration. No cuts to schools, no cuts to higher education, roughly $250 million in scattered hard cuts, and no cuts to local governments. Again, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, the county lobbyist out of Lansing, he was in our county commission meeting 2 weeks ago, Roger, something like that.
Right, 2 weeks ago.
And it was, Gary, I'm going to put it this way. He was at our county commission meeting, I want to say April or May, and it was doom and gloom.
Right.
How much money was going to be cut. Schools, they were looking at $600 a student cuts. It was in there. And just last week, he says, boy, time has changed. And it turned out a lot better than what they thought he would.
Let's get one more call. Let's get a call real quick. Good morning. You're on the line with the county commissioners.
Yeah, good morning. I was thinking about Ottawa County, lack of water in Robinson, Blendon, Ellendale, and Olive Township. What about Ottawa County putting in a pipeline to take care of our public?
Can that be a feasible thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Usually it's municipalities that put it in the county. Most counties. I don't think.
That's a good question, but I'm not so sure that there's 3 of them in Ottawa County. And Roger, you're out of Grand Haven, you would know that. But Grand Rapids pulls out of Lake Michigan, Wyoming pulls out of Lake Michigan, and so does the city of Holland. And the city of Holland supplies Zeeland.
So there's actually 4 systems.
Okay, so, and I don't know where their max are. Could they be tapping into more of them? Can they generate more water out of there? It isn't because Lake Michigan is running dry right now, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, we can get into a whole new ball of wax on that one in terms of water levels. Caller, I appreciate the call. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, unfortunately, we're out of time in this segment. Al Dannenberg of Zeeland, Roger Bergman of Grand Haven, Ottawa County Commissioners. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us in our Zoom conversation. I look forward to chatting with you again. If it has to be virtual, it'll be virtual, but let's hope it's in our studios the next time both of you are joining us.
Thank you, Gary.
And that is the Ottawa County Commissioners.